everyone. So today I'm going to be walking you through how to best navigate the scope and sequence templates on our website. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start typing in the name of the site, which is sites.google.com, jeffersonunion.net/SSELA. And it'll take us to the home page here. This is the landing page for the scope and sequence documents. And then you'll notice at the very top menu there is 9th grade, the skill progression in all the units, 10th grade, skill progression in all units, and the same for 11th grade. The calendar is populated with important dates regarding to the scope and sequence. You'll see the next dates that are probably pretty significant to most people are the revision days on the 11th and the 12th. Then this last page is here for resources. This is a landing page for each of the content resources that are not tied in to a particular unit. So if you click just 9th grade, it will take you to a place with all of the folders that we identified for 9th and 10th grade content resources, not designated to a specific folder. The same will happen with the 10th and the 11th grade. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to pretend I'm a 9th grade teacher, and I'm going to just go into the very first unit. So as soon as this loads, one of the first things, I can see the entire template. If I scroll down through all of the fields, get a sense of the whole document. But one of the first things that's visible to me is this rationale for the skills in Unit 1. That is where I would highly recommend clicking first. So I'm going to do that now. And that is going to take me to this document. And as I go through, I'm going to see an introduction, which just gives a rationale by why this unit exists in this place, how it relates to the units around it, the rationale for the major skills that will be emphasized in this template, in this particular unit, the objectives. It's very important to remember that these are actually the teacher objectives, not student objectives that we would give them in the beginning of the lesson to determine the purpose for class that day. These would be specifically what we're trying to accomplish as teachers. And finally, you can also see the assessment here. So this gives you a little insight into the conversation that was had around some of these choices, since most people were not there to actually have that conversation. You're going to find a lot of the same information in the top part here. Essential skills broken down by reading, writing, speaking, and listening, and language. The assessment, this actually hyperlinks into a rubric for the assessment. And then the major breakdown of each one of these units has standards in the left-hand column, skills in the center of the column, and then any resource that we felt best matched that skill derived from that standard that would help to teach this particular item, we linked in here. So for example, to annotate a narrative text, someone has included annotation symbols that are in the form of bookmarks that you could actually photocopy, cut up, and provide to students so that they can always use that when they're reading. Here's just a basic annotation handout that goes over some general rule of thumbs to annotate. So a lot of these are going to have similar things in them. It's not our expectation that people would use all of these and that anyone would necessarily even use any of them. They're simply there to give you a sense and give you a resource should you need it to help you achieve the skill that we're really trying to emphasize in this particular unit. And so that goes all the way down with all the different skills that are being emphasized for this particular unit till you get to the very bottom where this is suggested content resources. Now these are the same content resources that you can find here under the resource content resources section. Only here some teachers have suggested texts that they feel will work particularly well. So here we have the short story unit. that they believe will work particularly well. And in this short story unit, you'll find that there's also even broken down short stories. There's all different kinds of characterization worksheets and final assessments. And I mean, to be honest, it could even possibly be content overload, but we figured provide it to people if they're curious or just want some inspiration. So that is really it. The last thing that you can take a look at if you're just curious to see how this all fits in is looking at the skill progression. This is all the reading, writing, listening, speaking, and language skills at a glance, how they divide up amongst the units. So you can start to get a sense of how the skills that you're teaching in Unit 1 are really going to build themselves out to Unit 4. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me anytime you like. Otherwise, thank you for watching.